Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skowalski of Remax Lakes, and welcome to the show.
Here we are. Good morning.
Yes, here we are, and we're in the fall.
It's late fall.
And yes, and normally it's this time of year that the market slows down.
Tends to slow, absolutely.
But the house is on the market. That means that they're serious.
Yeah, typically they are. I mean, because think about it. Do you want to have your house listed and people traipsing through while you're getting ready for friends and family to come over for the holiday?
Yeah. No, you
Probably
don't.
not. So if you're on the market, you're a serious seller. At least that's what we'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan.
And you've got some tips here on creating curb appeal. While you're getting ready for the holidays, but you want to sell your home, so some curb appeal projects that you can do.
Sure, and curb appeal is important all the time. So that visual,
Yeah.
And again, imagine yourself pulling up to the house. Is this a house that I want to live in?
Yeah,
Is this the neighborhood for me? Is it house look, like I would like to, a house I'd love to live in?
You and the kids playing in the front yard.
Exactly.
Can you picture
all
that?
of those things.
Yes.
Picture that visual. So, just some things that you can do to spruce up, for the fall of the year, and it's good year round, but some helpful reminders. So paint your front door. Typically, the lockbox is on the front door. That is the buyer's first impression of your home once they've pulled into the drive and walking up to your house. And I tell you, I've seen some pretty gnarly looking front doors where you go in and there's paint peeling off the trim. It just doesn't look appealing. The landscaping is a mess.
Yeah.
As you're walking up to the door, or maybe the leaves this time of year, it's really tough because the grass is, it's not as green as it was in the middle of the summer.
Yep.
The shrubbery is not live. You got dead leaves. You got leaves blowing all over into there. You're walking up to the door, and the first thing you see is this nasty looking door. Not a good first impression for buyers.
No.
So, it's a relatively inexpensive way to improve the look of your house. Paint your front door.
Mm-hmm.
That is very helpful. The other thing is because we're not seeing flowers bloom and all of those things, inside of the house, have some colorful flowers, have some color in the house. I'm not saying make it crazy. Don't paint your walls pink or things like that, but flowers, it adds some nice smell.
Yeah.
And it's got some color in the house. Even on the outside, if you can do, and people laugh at me because at our office we've got a bundle of fake flowers out front. But you know what? I can take care of those.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about watering them. I don't have to worry about them dying because I do not have a green thumb. So, just spruce up the exterior of your house, especially where people are going to come walking into the front door.
Yeah.
Have your grass cut. Have the leaves picked up.
Yeah.
This time of year it's just terrible. Although they're pretty much down, you never know. But for me, I have one tree in my yard, but there's 5 acres of woods across the road from me,
and they all come your way.
And the wind blows out of the west, and guess what?
Yeah.
They're all in my yard.
Of course.
So it just makes me so happy when I'm out there raking leaves. 'Cause these aren't my leaves, but I gotta rake them.
Yeah.
So clean up the exterior of your house. Curb appeal is always a big deal. Maybe if you haven't done it yet, mow that grass one more time.
Right.
So it's we don't have snow on the ground, but the grass is a little bit longer because you've let it grow. We had some 70 and 80 degree days, or pushing 80 degree days,
Right.
this month.
Mm-hmm.
So grass was still growing.
Right.
So hit it one more time.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit it one more time, and you'll be ready for that buyer when they pull up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you were talking about, painting the front door, and you never know what you're going to have. Like you said, this time of year, you don't know if it's going to be snowy on the ground,
Right.
or if it's going to if it's going to be in the 80s or what have you. But maybe a good idea, just some pictures that you have of the house from like summertime or whatever.
Right.
Just to sit those on a
Sure.
counter or something like that, so they could see the flowers. Because actually, because my wife has a green thumb, and our house is beautiful in the summertime and in early fall. You get to late fall, and I've already mowed up all the hostas and all the all that stuff.
It looks bad.
Yeah, it looks bad and barren. Like we don't care about
Right.
the landscaping at all, but
Right.
but we really do. So I would suggest set some pictures out so they could see what it looks in the other 3 seasons.
Absolutely. And, you know, I guess that's where at times you wonder, what are we doing here? You know, why are we living in Indiana?
Yeah, right.
When you get to that time, because everything is dark, you know, it just doesn't look good. I like the 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do. But this time of year, this transition between fall and, you know, where we had summer, fall, into winter, it can just be a mess. And the yards typically look that way. But if you've got your house listed, curb appeal is a critical piece. It's a critical piece when somebody comes in to take your pictures. You know, when they take the exterior pics, people look at how is that deferred maintenance? Are you taking care of the place or not? So 2 houses, price the same, everything else the same, and the one's got the exterior pictures and the yard's full of leaves, and the other one is, you know, nice trim, beautiful looking house. Well, all the leaves in the yard tell potential buyers, man, I got to rake that yard.
Yeah, that's true.
The folks in the other, even though they did have to rake the yard,
yeah,
the buyers aren't looking at that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not thinking about
Nice,
it.
neat, and clean.
Nice, neat, and clean.
All right, very good. Hey, we're going to talk about tips to sell your home during the holidays. That's coming up here next. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and we're talking about getting your home ready to sell in the fall. Typically, this is when the market does slow down, and so for buyers, you got more opportunity out there. If you know, I mean, if there's enough inventory, you've got more opportunity out there. So we talked about doing this in the fall, but then you've got the holidays, like, you know, they're here. They're basically here. So selling your home during the holidays.
Yeah, so number 1, do not go overboard on holiday decorations.
Right.
If you're that guy or gal who every year has, you know, your NIPSCO electric bill goes up,
Clark Griswold.
you know, by 10 times
Yeah.
because you've put lights all over the exterior and all of that stuff. If you're selling that your house, probably not a good time to do that. Settle down, simmer down now.
Yeah.
This year, if that's what you're doing, try
Yes.
to minimize what you're doing. Hey, I'm not saying don't be ready for the holidays. Just minimize some. You know, it's that time of year. People are going to expect to walk into a house, and you know, it's early now, but you're going to see Christmas trees. You're going to see that kind of stuff. Just don't go overboard. I mean, don't become the North Pole getting ready for Christmas, right? Don't have it set that way in getting ready for Christmas. Pricing is still critical. Still critical. So, you know, you've still got to have the right price. I don't care if you have 0 decorations up. If you're priced way too high, you're probably not going to get buyers coming in there.
Right. Very true.
So having it priced right, having it to show very well so people can imagine themselves in there. You know, I've been where you've got, you know, the giant snowmen blown up out in the front yard and all of that stuff. You know, not everybody takes the holidays at the same level. So when you're selling, just try to be more conservative. Just like with paint colors, right? We talk about neutralize. So maybe that's the right term, is neutralize your holiday decorations if you're trying to sell during the holidays.
Well, you know, and we always talk about, if you're trying to sell, and this goes for, you know, 100% of the time, all year long, declutter.
Declutter, absolutely.
You know, declutter. And when a lot of people decorate for the holidays, it's a lot of clutter to some people.
It is. And, you know, again, I'm not saying, hey, if you want to decorate, by all means, have at it. These are tips for folks who, if you're trying to get you, because think about it, you get an accepted offer, now you got to take all that stuff away. I'm lazy. I'm inherently lazy. I'm looking for the easiest way to get through with that thing.
Right.
So I pulled all this stuff out. I got it all up there. I get an accepted offer on my house. I got to get moved out in 30 days.
Yeah.
Now I got to take it all down and do all of that stuff to get out of there. Doesn't make sense. So simmer down now this year if you're trying to sell. Minimize the decoration.
Well, and I don't want to sound like a Scrooge or anything like that, but okay, so we do 2 Christmas trees. We got one in the front of the house, one in the back of the house, and so and my wife, you know, we're decorating the living room or the dining room and then the family room. and it's a lot of stuff, and so it's many trips up to the attic. And like the box that I have like the Christmas trees in, I use duct tape for it so it never closes right,
sure.
and so it's to me it's a big pain. It's a big pain, and it normally takes like the entire weekend to
Here we are whining about having to get ready for Christmas.
I
My
know.
kids did call me Scrooge.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they did. Because
Yeah.
I got to get the tree out, and I got this, and I got that.
Yes.
You know what? And then I look back, it really didn't take that long.
No, you're
It
right.
really did not take that long, but I sure complained about it while I was doing it.
Mhm.
So the fact is, decorate to your heart's desire. But if you're trying to sell your house, minimize what you're putting out there. Your listing photos. If you've got the house decorated, people are going to see those, and after January, you need to change those things out.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking, if you for whatever reason you listed in August and the grass was nice and green and the flowers were blooming and all of that stuff, your pictures need to reflect the season that you're in.
Right.
And it's always tough around this time when you may get snow. Who knows? You may not have snow. I hate to see snow pictures
Right.
in June.
Right.
Right? I mean, because what's that tell you? Has the house
Mhm.
been on the market forever?
Yeah.
Just like you hate to see green grass
Mhm.
in December, because it's unlikely you're going to have really green grass in December.
Mhm.
The point to that is have your listing pictures reflect the season that you're in. Now, don't call your agent if you have your house listed right now, and we get 2 inches of snow, down the road. Hey, I got to get my pictures changed out, because if that melts off,
Yeah.
no harm, no foul. But in the middle of December into January, the likelihood of having snow, we're probably going to have snow.
Mhm.
So, you don't want green grass pictures at that point.
Yeah.
So, all of that stuff, it's great, and getting ready for it. We're seeing still some more virtual showings, virtual open houses. And we were talking off air about, would you buy a house just by watching a video? Well, not everybody would. I would be uncomfortable myself personally, but I can tell you I have sold them sight unseen through a virtual walkthrough.
Right.
People have done that, and part of the reason that they're willing to do that is because the market has been, again, in certain price ranges, still so darn hot. If you don't get in, you're not going to get in. And if you're living remotely and you're moving to this area, maybe you end up having to buy, or if you're leaving this area, you're buying in Arizona because you're retiring, you may have to do a virtual open house.
Right.
And be uncomfortable buying without having to actually walk through that house.
Well, maybe you do 6 or 7 virtuals,
Right.
and then you decide, okay, well, I want to look at these 2, physically walk through the house.
Right. And, our industry's adjusted to this COVID thing because it's still here. We're still dealing with it.
Right.
And virtual, it's not a bad way to go. At least to get that weeded out. Take 10 down to 3 and then go see the 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, all very good tips for selling your home in the fall and during the holidays.
During the holidays, it's crazy.
Yeah, but bottom line, if the house is up for sale during the holidays, chances are they're pretty serious about selling.
You got it. They're serious about selling, and buyers are serious about buying this time of year.
Okay, hey, your contact information?
Sure. The website's lakes-realtors.com. Phone number's 574-834-1233. Folks can always email me at markskabowski@remax.net.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time.